Hi, I'm Cyderbaby. This is Rock Radio UK, and today I'm talking to the legend that is Rob Wild from Midnite City. Hello, sir.
Hiya, mate. That's a good introduction. I
I've been working on it for ages, mate. Honestly,
don't know if
flat.
I can I don't know if I can live up to that, but there we go. We'll give it a go.
Well, you know. How are you, sir? You're looking well.
Thank you, mate. You too. You too. It's been a
Uh,
while. It's good to see you again.
yeah, I know. I just trying to think. It was just before the last album came out, wasn't it? We spoke.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was last summer. I think it was about a couple of weeks before the album came out. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind since, to be honest with you. But it's all been good. It's all been great since the album came out. The album's got incredible reviews, and yeah, it's all been going really well since we last spoke.
Yeah. So remind me, what was the album called? Remind the viewers. Remind the
So
listeners.
yeah, it was our fourth album. It was called In at the Deep End, and yeah, it came out last summer. And yeah, the best reviews we've ever had, to be honest with you. And it's been an awesome, 7 8 months, to be honest with you. It's been really good for us.
Did I recall seeing that you actually toured various other places other than the UK?
We certainly did. Yeah, we went to Japan for the second time in December.
Right,
So we went back there. Sorry, we went to Japan for the first time in 2019. So it was our second trip out there, and we just had, it's just for us, it's our biggest market is actually
really.
Japan. Yeah, yeah, it's where our biggest fan base is, and they just absolutely love us out there. So we played two shows. We played in Osaka and Tokyo as well.
Yeah,
Two incredible shows, and we were actually there a little bit longer this time. We were out there for pretty much a week, so we actually had 2 full days of sightseeing, which we didn't really get last time. We just kind of played the gigs and straight on the plane back home. But
yeah,
it was great. I mean, we had such a good time. I mean, it's incredible out there. It really is.
yeah.
So
How,
yeah, so it was great.
how does it differ in Japan for you than it does in, say, the UK? I mean, I've got a host called Mike Rogers who's recovering at the moment, so he's not on air. But he said the actual market is quite different. They don't actually stream so much; they buy more CDs, more physical items. Would you say that is true or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's one of the great things about it. They're quite old school in that
Hmm,
respect, which is I wish the rest of the world was like that. I mean, on our last day in Japan, we actually went to Tower Records, which is still there, and
right.
it's a proper old school, CD shop like things used to be. We went and obviously took our picture outside with our album and stuff, like typical tourists.
As you
Got
do.
to be done. But yeah, I mean, they still buy their albums. They buy vinyl, they buy CDs, um, and I mean, after the shows and during the meet and greets before the shows, I mean, they came with like a stack of stuff for us to sign, and it's great to see that because that's such a dying art nowadays. People
Yeah.
actually buying a physical product, which is something that we're really trying to yeah, we are old school and we know that it's kind of not the way these days. But for bands to survive, people do need to buy,
Mm,
physical product, whether that's an album, a CD, whether it's, a T-shirt, whatever it is. And the Japanese are still really old school in that respect. And also another cool thing I noticed during the gig, over here, everybody's constantly on the phones
yeah.
filming the
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, you get the odd fan doing that, but for the most part, the crowds they're just in the moment and they're watching
Okay.
the gig and enjoying the gig rather than I've got to film every single second of this so I can share it on my Instagram or whatever. And they're just a lot more kind of just a lot more switched on, I think, in general. Or maybe it's just like more of an old school type mentality, really, which it really works for us. So
Yeah.
but yeah, they're incredible people. And yeah, it is weird because I mean they also even though one of the most bizarre things is you go on stage and they'll be singing along to every single word of every single song, but then you meet them afterwards and nobody speaks a word of English. So it kind of really shows you the power of music. Like beyond saying hello, that is
Yeah,
where I mean, it's a complete and utter language barrier between us and them. But
yeah.
yet they know every single song to every word to every single song. So it kind of it's very odd, but it's very cool at the same time.
I suppose the next challenge for you is to learn Japanese and do an entire album in Japanese for them, just for your biggest market.
I have enough trouble with English, mate. So I think we'll leave that
You and me both.
one.
Right. So we're talking about past touring, but you've actually got a tour coming up in the
Yeah,
UK. Right.
we
Do tell.
certainly do. We do. So we're going to be kicking off our Raise the Dead UK tour in I think it's just over 2 weeks' time. So it starts on April the 5th,
Hmm.
and we're going to be playing 9 shows all over the UK, from Edinburgh to London, and we try to. Obviously, there's going to be people saying, "Why are you not playing our city?" and all the rest of it,
Hmm.
but we tried to cover as much of the UK as possible, and we're really looking forward to it because this is, we like I said, we played in Japan in December, and we did a Christmas show in Sheffield, like a week before Christmas. But since then, we haven't actually played since last year. So it's also our second tour in support of our
Yeah.
In at the Deep End album, because we did tour last summer in June and July. But it's going to be great. We got a really good, cool band called Continental Lovers coming out who are going to be opening up for us, and
Yeah.
we got a new set. We're doing an 18 song set list, so that's like a
Okay.
hell of a long set list. So we're really giving people their money's worth. So I think it's about an hour and 40 minutes our show. Like I said, new set list. We got a whole new batch of merch. We got two really cool new tour t-shirts, and we also actually we've also reissued our third album, Itch You Can't Scratch,
Yeah.
which we got the rights back from our old label. And basically, what we've done is we've added 2 bonus tracks to it, including a brand new studio track.
Right.
We actually did a cover version of Bon Jovi's "I'd Die for You," and that's on the reissue. And those CDs are also going to be available at the shows as well. So we've
Brilliant.
got, yeah, we've got quite a lot of new merch on sale. Like I said, it's just going to be a great time. We've been looking forward to doing this for quite a while, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Have you got the tour dates with you so you can swizzle through them?
I certainly do. I'm going to cheat if that's all right. I'm
Yeah,
going
you can
to
cheat as much as you like.
yeah, I got them. So we're in let's have a look. April 5th, Yardbirds in Grimsby. April 12th, Trillions Newcastle. 13th, Bannerman's Edinburgh. 26th, 11 in Stoke. 27th, Waterloo Blackpool. May the 3rd, Billsley Rock Club in Birmingham. 4th, Old Cold Store Nottingham. 10th, Night Train in Bradford. And 11th, we're at downstairs at the Dome in London. So,
So
so
you cover most of the UK then, to be quite fair.
yeah, I mean, we try. I mean, obviously, it's hard when you're putting a tour together because you've got to, it's got to be done within a certain time frame, and then
Yeah.
obviously venues have to be available, and there's been a ton of venues that we got in touch with that we wanted to play, and then
Yeah.
the dates just didn't line up. So
Mm.
hopefully, I mean, people will come out to. I mean, we're playing quite a few. Like we didn't play in Scotland on the summer tour last year. So we're playing a few venues that we didn't do on the last run. So hopefully it should be, fingers crossed, it should go well.
Okay, brilliant. Is there a particular ticket link or is it contact the venue?
There is. So I mean, we're posted pretty much on a daily basis on Facebook and Instagram, and on all the posts there's basically a link tree link. So if you click on
Yeah.
that, it opens up all the dates, and there's a ticket link to all the shows. And you could also, go to the actual venues websites, and also midnitecity.com. All the dates and ticket links are on there as well.
Mm. There is a certain amount of apathy I'm finding for people pre-booking tickets as well. I mean, it is quite essential for you guys to put together a tour like this and just to have quite a few pre-ordered tickets, isn't it?
It really is, I can't stress enough because, like you said, it seems to be a really strange time at the minute, and um, people don't seem to be coming out to original gigs.
Mm,
And we're also talking big bands, big bands, who, much bigger bands than us that are already they're struggling as well. And I really don't understand what it is. I think there's two things. I think a lot of it is sort of like the backlash of even though all the COVID stuff's over, I
mm,
think there still is a bit of a weird backlash from that because I think at the time, talking, 2 or 3 years ago when all that was happening, there was so many shows and tours getting announced and then they get cancelled at the
yeah,
last minute
yeah.
and then they get rescheduled, then they get cancelled again. So understandably from a fan's point of view, they were just saying, well, we're not going to get tickets until the night before just to make sure, or even they turn up on the day of the gig and pay on the door.
Mm,
And even though that's over and done with, for some reason, then that sort of mentality still seems to be with the fans, and is still doing that, and they're still waiting. When gigs won't get cancelled, all the gigs will go ahead, but
yeah,
it makes it really, especially with promoters and especially with venues, because venues like to have some sort of security as to
yeah.
there's going to be a decent amount of people because some venues will just if they don't have enough tickets, even though if they waited until the night the shows will be packed,
Yeah.
but if they don't have an X amount of tickets a week before, a lot of venues will just cancel the shows. And it's weird because I don't think a lot of fans and people that go to gigs necessarily know that because obviously they're
Mm,
not in the business. They just think, well, so long as I turn up, it doesn't matter. But it's just really, really important that people buy tickets. And I think also the tribute things a big I think that's to blame for a lot of it because
yeah.
and I can't knock it because I do a tribute thing on the side and as does Sean, but you know, those shows are selling out,
Yeah.
all the time. And I do find it really odd that people would much prefer to go and see a tribute band than an original thing. I don't really quite get that, but that you can't really do anything about that. But the main thing is just if you're coming to any of the shows, it's just get your tickets and get them now. So the venues are a little bit more they're a little bit easier about it, and
Yeah.
it just makes it a lot less stressful for the venues, the promoters, and the band, as well. So.
Yeah. Well, you've got a great band as well, like you said, supporting you, Continental Lovers. I saw them at Quarter of the Wild last year.
Yeah, yeah,
S They're really good. They're really good. So it's two great bands. I mean, Midnight City and Continental Lovers together. You can't beat the value of that. I mean, the price of a ticket.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
we tickets are really, we've not, that's again one of those things. Everything else goes up in price, but for some reason, like our prices remain the same. So tickets are
yeah.
really cheap. It's not like we put up our prices for tickets. And like I said, we're doing like I said, an 18 song set list. That's a long, we're
Mm,
doing. I mean, I go to a lot of gigs as well, and we're doing it at least a half hour longer than most headline bands are doing. So,
mm.
like I said, the Continental Lovers are great. They're a really cool band. They'll be doing about 40 minutes. And we've actually added as well to, I think it's a Blackpool show. Kim Jennett's actually going to be playing with
Okay.
us on that one as well. She's just doing the one-off gig with us. But yeah, it's going to be a great night wherever you come and see us. So, make sure you get your tickets.
Brilliant. Um, you said when we were off air as well, there is something else lurking in the background later on this week as well. You have new
Yes,
music.
we certainly do. So we've got actually a couple of things coming. I completely forgot about. Uh, yeah, which
We're
uh,
well,
which have
well prepared here, are we?
which happens every now and then. Yeah, so we have a new single and video coming out on Friday for a song called "Like There's No Tomorrow," which will be
Okay.
the fourth single off the album. And what's really cool about this is the actual video has been shot entirely on tour in Japan.
Brilliant.
So
Yeah.
we've done. I was actually checking the other day. We've actually done 10 videos prior to this one, but we've never done like a sort of like an on the road type video.
Mm,
And I thought before we left for Japan, this is like the prime time to do one of those videos. So we all, whilst we were out there, we were all filming stuff. All the, each band member and the promoter was filming a lot of stuff. We got fans to send little clips here and there. And the whole thing has been edited together actually by Sean, our keyboard player, who's done an incredible job of editing it. I mean, he went through, I mean, literally like days worth of footage, and
mm,
he had to wheedle it down and pick the best bits. And he's put together this incredible video, which is like, if you've ever wanted to know what it's like to play in Japan or tour or just go to Japan, it's all in the video. And he's actually done a really good job because he's actually done it in chronological order as well. So it starts when we're actually leaving the UK and arriving into Japan, and then the end of the video is leaving Japan, to come home. But it's got us like hanging out with fans, the meet and greets, riding on the bullet train, sound checks, obviously footage of us on stage, hanging out backstage in the hotel, everything basically. So that's coming out on Friday. And then also on Saturday, we're actually going to be playing the Road Rage Festival at the Corporation in Sheffield with a bunch of other bands with like the main support. And that one came in about I think it was about a month ago, and that's
yeah.
kind of for us is really cool because it's kind of like a real warm up for the tour. So yeah, so that's coming up on Saturday as well. But yeah, lots happening, mate. Lots happening.
Wow. What else? We've gone through basically the tail end of spring going into summer. So what does the future hold for Midnight City now after that sort of time period?
We've got a lot for the rest of the year, to be honest, because we just signed up with a new booking agent.
Right.
So we've got the tour runs till um it, early May, and then we head out. We were playing a bunch of festivals over the summer, so we're doing Rock and Bike Festival in that's like like an outdoor festival in Derby, which would be great on July the 13th. And we're doing Nosfest in Southampton. A lot of people were saying, why are you not doing any shows on the South Coast,
Yeah.
on the tour? And I'm like, well, that's because we're coming to the South Coast on August the 10th for Nosfest, which is in Southampton.
Yeah.
Then we're doing Firefest on October the 13th, which is in Manchester, 3-day melodic rock festival.
Yeah.
Great lineup. We're going to be doing that one. Then we go out to Germany, play a headline show in Germany, October the 19th. November 16th, we're doing a Rockmantic Festival in Grimsby, Yardbirds. And then finally, at the end of the year, November 30th, we do, it's slightly earlier this year because our guitar player's away, but we do like a Christmas show.
Yeah.
That's on November the 30th this year. But we've got all that going on for the rest of the year. And we're even starting, we've got stuff booked for next year already, including an absolute massive announcement, which hopefully, fingers crossed, should be within the next sort of month or two. I can't say anything about it, but it's something we're going to be doing next year. And
Nobody listens. It's fine. You can tell me.
no, I can't. I've actually been told by the event organizers not to say anything because it is for a band like us, it's probably one of the biggest things that we could do.
Brilliant.
So that's happening next year, and then at some point next year there will be another album, but we'll get to that in due course.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans while we're actually just sat here recording?
Um, well, as always, thanks for your continued support for Midnight City, and it's been great. The reaction to this album has been absolutely amazing, and I mean, you've always had good reviews, but this one
Mm,
seems to have, I don't know, it just seems to have connected with a lot more people this time around for some reason, and just thanks for all your support, and like I said, I know keep it sound a little bit like a broken record, but if you are coming to any of these shows on the tour, just please buy tickets in advance, so they all go ahead and we can all have a great night together. So, but thanks for everything, and we'll see you when we get out on the road in a couple of weeks' time.
Excellent. Rob, I'm not going to take up any more of your time, but thank you so much. And hopefully we'll bump into each other for a cider at some point on
Yeah,
one show soon.
absolutely, Dave. Great talking to you, bud.
Okay, take care.
See you, mate.